Hey YouTube, we need to talk about Swiftmaster. Yeah, I think he's a problem. Don't take my word for it. Take top player Goichi's word for it. A little obscured, but you might see Swiftmaster's not SS tier. He's SSS tier. That means he's 2 tiers above the next character, right? And you might be thinking, oh, well, Goichi, he's a Swiftmaster player. You know, he might just be a little biased or upplaying his character. He's the only person that thinks like this. Well, you'd be wrong. Take, for example, Kubo's tier list. And you might be wondering what these kanji mean. At the top row, it means God. And then the one below that means a mountain you can't climb. The line below that means a river you can't climb. And then you have the rest of the cast. So yeah, he's pretty good. I too might have my own gripes. You know, I've played in several DNF tourneys. I've done very well. I got second at this tourney, TNS. At Leopard's tournament, I got third. But I happened to lose to this one character called Swiftmaster, particularly Masoma Swiftmaster. My opinion, the best Swiftmaster in North America right now. Here's what our first match looked like. You know, I was thinking, let me challenge this 5B with a 5A. And I just get deleted off the screen. Yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, I think I did take a game here, but it can be pretty rough and pretty overwhelming. Anyways, guys, today we're going to talk about why I think Swiftmaster is easily the best character in the game. And we're also going to talk about counterplay, because there's a lot of things you can do to fight him better, right? And I'm going to still be entering tournaments, and I want to share, you know, some of the counterplay and stuff that I've labbed out in order to help you guys. All right, so what makes this character strong? It's a combination of several things, right? Really good neutral, really good damage, really great round start, really great pressure. So what do I mean by that? Well, I think his neutral is actually easily the best in the game, right? Just because he has not one, not two, but 3 of the best neutral skip options in the game, right? The first one you've already seen, it's this, we call a tap punch, but basically you hold down the button for a couple seconds, and if it lands, you get a full combo, right? You get 40-50%. The second is the spiral swords, or the Virgil swords, right? You just activate and you just run in and you get a free mix up. The third is the one I think people are kind of underutilizing, but it's very good, right? There's this wind orb, and you can do the follow-up, and it creates this tornado. You get a full combo off the tornado. The follow-up is unreactable, so if you want to advance on him, you have to take a risk, and if not, you just get set in the block stun, and now you have to hold guard pressure. So his neutral, easily best in class, right? Great damage, you guys already saw that. It's not just the really good damage, but it's the fact that he converts off of pretty much anything, right? All right, so this is an example of situational confirm, right? You know, there's some counterplay to the spiral swords. You can low profile, but yeah, so use conversion to anti-air, and this is, he gets this all off of an anti-air, right? And these combos, as long as you, these combos are hard. I will give Swiftmaster's credit. You know, these combos do take a good amount of time to learn, but that was 35-40% off of an anti-air from like situational hit confirms. So one of the I guess weaknesses that people say is that this character has bad mix, and while it is true, I think outside of like PS4, because there's more input lag, you know, the best mix that I've seen with this character is either strike throw, or they'll do this like wind orb throw, right? And then if you're at the right spacing, you can do this like fast fall low, right? And then you can mix up at that overhead, right? But you can actually react to this, right? You just look out for the direction that the lines are going and you block in that. I do think the low is very hard, especially on like maybe if the net plays laggy or you're on PS4, but I think with practice you can react to it. So you might think, oh, this if I block this character, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I wish that was the case, because just like Striker, you can get basically put into checkmate situations, right? So this is just after the regular bread and butter. A lot of Swiftmasters will set out the wind orb, and this is all a true block spam. And if you don't guard cancel this, which there are some situations where you can't guard cancel, let's say you're just out of mana for whatever reason, you're dead. And this combo kills. Again, you basically just got 2-touched by Swiftmaster. If you ever find yourself lacking MP, yeah, you just die. Or if, you know, the Swiftmaster baits out the guard cancel. So you don't necessarily need mix with this character. So another example of what Goichi likes to do. All right, so he sets the oil inward down, and he'll do these jump lights. What you actually need to pay attention to is that, you know, he can mix and throw there, and also like can bait DP and guard cancel, but look at all that white life he took. Keep in mind, this is on Crusader, who has the most health in the game. And if you get clipped by the next hit, which again, you have really good cancel options with Swiftmaster, you just go into Spiral Swords, you run forward, and you lose all that white life, and you get full combo, right? So yeah, some of the best pressure options in the game as well. So let's talk about weaknesses. Of course, this character has the lowest health in the game, tied with like Enchantress and Inquisitor. That's something you can very easily take advantage of, because again, this is going to do more guard damage too, so your risk reward in a lot of situations can potentially be skewed towards the attacker's favor, because again, Swiftmaster has low health. One of the disadvantages of his neutral skips, which are very, very strong, keep this in mind, is this all gives him white life, right? And same thing with the Spiral Swords, it gives him white life. So why is this important? Well, if you guard cancel and you have white life, you can go right back in and you can put that pressure on Swiftmaster. There's the threat of conversion to deal with, right? That conversion that I use there, you know, beats DP, it beats backdash, it beats a lot of the other nutty options. And then when they start respecting the conversion as Hitman, then I can just do something like that, run up instant overhead. So getting conversion is really good. And the fact that, you know, some of Swiftmaster's neutral skip tools allow him to get conversion does give you some counterplay. All right, so let's talk about some more counterplay. I was talking before that, you know, Swiftmaster's round starts are really strong, but you do need to like counterplay them somewhat. And some characters have better options than those. So for example, Enchantress, you know, one of Swiftmaster's best round starts is 5B. And you see how that's blocked from this range. But if you crouch, wait, was I lied to? Crouch no block? Oh, that's risky as fuck. Because they could just do this and nah, that's not going in the video. No fucking way I'm doing that, bro. See, the thing is, like, you can react to tap and then just block. But I see Goichi doing this a lot, right? And then you're just dead. Yeah, it's two. Damn, well, I guess if you got some balls of steel, then yeah, I guess you could do this. Wait, so maybe this works with Hitman then? Nah, it doesn't work. I figure that'd be the case, but okay, well, that is an option. I mean, most of the time, like in my situation against Swiftmaster, I'll just walk back, right? Even though I might not necessarily like walk back, but at least I'm safe from that. I'm safe from tap. I can at least like push him out with either a guard cancel and then start to play the game. Because the risk reward is so not skewed in my favor, like trying to jump or trying to call out like a tap or something like that. A couple other things. So there's a lot of things that like newer Swiftmaster players will do. This is an example of one of them, right? You'll see this string into the double tornado, and then they'll just keep doing the double tornado. And a lot of times this will like seem really unbeatable. Like what you do, and then they can just do the double tornado again. But you actually have a pretty good option. Every character can dash and then jump. And you saw that as a counter, and then you get a punish on it, right? And of course they can conversion it and, you know, bait you out, but it is a pretty good option. Yeah, so at certain distances you can also roll a tornado and get a punish as well. But again, a lot of the better Swiftmaster players won't necessarily do that. Yeah, and then super close tornado. Let's say they accidentally do up here. That's a free punish too. So, you know, occasionally Swiftmaster players will mess up, and it's very important, you know, you get the punish on that. So another move that people are having an issue with is this move, right? They'll suck you in, they'll do it after this, and if they actually get hit, you know, they get a full combo. But this does have gap, right? You can always mash it. It can be a little tricky. I think you can mash it on reaction if you're really looking for it, especially if your character with like really fast normals. You can also throw it. A lot of characters' fastest button is throw. Well, and this wasn't necessarily a punish. You know, you can at least force the RPS. Another thing you can do, if you have like boomer reactions, just DP. And so if they go for a follow-up, you'll catch that follow-up. Yeah, the wind punch is a very, yeah. That's actually, I didn't even talk about this. One of the first things I did after I played the first set against Masoma, I'm like, I bet I can awakening punish the tornado punch. That's actually plus on block. This move does not even look like it deserves to be plus on block, but if you try to mash after that, yeah. So don't mash after that. Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. It's just a very, very, very good move. It's actually way too good. One other thing I will say though is tap is this dash punch move. You can react to it. So if you're like trying to dash in, make sure you're always looking for that and then the guard. What I like to do is I use the guard button to guard. So instead of like having to go forward and then down back, which does take a little bit of extra, you know, time to move your thumb, I just go forward, the down forward to guard. I think it's just a little more precise and gives you those extra frames to react to tap. Can I roll in reaction? Like technically, probably can. I was looking for it. I don't even think I'm plus. Yeah, you don't want to roll it. I can jump and punch. Okay. No, I'm not jumping that punch. It. No, don't listen. I mean, you can like if you have a read, but like. All right, nah, no. This is not a move you jump over the punch. I mean, I guess I could do like. Okay, never mind. You know, don't jump over it. Yeah. Another thing that some characters can do. So, right, you have the wind orb, and if they just like dash forward, you can clip under this, right? So a lot of characters do have something that could test that. Of course, you know, Swiftmaster does have counterplay because they could just dash forward and roll, and now your normal just whiffs and you just die. It's important to represent these options because if not, they're just gonna run up and not take the risk of roll, right? Because if they do roll and you're like misspaced, and then you can whiff punish it if you're a god. Oh yeah, another thing you can do, I thought this was really innovative, that if you have moves that can destroy the projectiles, you can actually deal pretty well with the spiral swords as well. So Hitman has this move that cancels out the projectiles. You use conversion, and you get a full combo off of this too. The one last thing I can leave you with is you might be thinking, hey, I can counterpick the character, right? Because some characters just have terrible matchups against Swiftmaster, and if you are looking for a character, I do think Crusader actually does very well. And I talked to Masoma, probably again best American Swiftmaster, and he thinks pretty similarly. The Wind Orb is one of the Swiftmaster's strongest moves. Same thing with Tap, and the wall kind of shuts that down, right? And so you could play neutral very effectively against Swiftmaster compared to a lot of characters. And like this guy's dropping his combos, but you can kind of see like the amount of neutral control that Crusader can exert is a lot better than some other characters. The other thing is that you have the health to kind of take hits. I mean, Swiftmaster crafts out damage, so it's probably still gonna kill. But actually, no, it didn't kill. That's again an advantage. And you do have some things to deal with, the wind orbs. So for example, that spear is plus if he does end up blocking it. So there are some things that actually deal with Swiftmaster pretty well. With that being said, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about Swiftmaster. Do you think he's actually only SS tier instead of SSS tier? Do you think the real mess of the game is Hitman and I'm just making excuses? I'm just trying to divert people away from Hitman because I play that character, not Swiftmaster. Which, by the way, I'm gonna learn a pocket Swiftmaster. Don't tell anyone. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider like, sharing, subscribing. Really helps out the channel. As always, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time.